Thanks to Bambu Lab for sponsoring this video. I've been making TV videos on the channel for a long time, and I've gotten into the weeds about TV tech. But also I recognize sometimes people just don't know what TV to get. My sister needed to get a new TV. She asked for a recommendation. I suggested get an LG OLED set. She, as most people would do, went to Best Buy, looked online, and was like, I don't know what to get. There's 17 different versions, different year models. So to make things easy for anybody looking to get a new TV, I wanted to go over LG's entire lineup from top to bottom, explaining what they have, who it might be for, and hopefully throughout the video, if you're in the market for a new TV, you can find the right set for you. Also, I'll make sure to put chapters in this video, so looking for info on a specific kind of TV, you can jump right to it. Okay, so let's start with LG's entry-level offerings. They're kind of bread and butter. LED LCD TVs. These are going to be their most budget-friendly options, but don't discount the quality due to the cheaper price. One of the reasons I appreciate LG and why I spent some of my own money to buy an LG TV, they tend to trickle down their features from their higher-end sets down to their budget sets more often than some other companies. So the 2024 UHD 4K TVs are the UT75, the UT80, and the UT90. These models range from 43 inches all the way up to 86 inches, with only the UT90, which you think would be 90 inches, topping out at 75 inches. And that's one of the very few differences between these sets. They all have 60 Hz displays. All use the A5 AI processor, 4K Gen 7. All have dynamic tone mapping, HDR10, filmmaker mode, game optimization, auto low latency mode, and the newest WebOS 24. That's kind of the software that they're running. The main differences between them mainly come down to the backlighting and sound quality. So the UT75 uses direct LED backlight with no local dimming. The UT80 uses LED backlighting with no local dimming as well, but also has slightly better audio quality. And the UT90 uses edge-lit backlighting with local dimming zones. So not a huge difference between those three. If local dimming and edge lighting are terms you don't know, that's okay. Just know the more local dimming zones you have, the better contrast you're gonna have for your picture. Now with these sets, you're gonna be getting sort of reasonably bright and colorful TVs, but they're not sort of well known for producing deep black levels. Blacks will always, every time, be some version of gray, especially if you're sitting off to the side of the TV, where image can start to look washed out. For someone who just wants a reasonably inexpensive set, or want to get a huge 75 or 86 inch set for a lower entry price, these are probably what you're going to want to look at. But if you're looking for the best bang for your buck, I think the next type of TV on the list will be the best for most people. Okay, so next up, we have QNED TVs, QNED. If that sounds familiar, it's probably because you've heard of QLED before, and that's QLED. QLED TVs are traditionally LED TVs with a quantum dot layer over the panel. It's gonna help increase overall brightness and produce more vibrant colors. QNED is just LG's version of QLED, except they also added a nanocell layer over the panel and uses two types of different backlighting under the QNED name. So the LG QNED lineup this year includes the QNED 80T, the QNED 85T, and the QNED 90T. 80T and the 85T both use edge-lit backlighting with local dimming, while the 90T is LG's mini LED TV that uses the most advanced precision dimming. So let's compare the two LED TVs first. All right, so the QNED 80T and 85T are relatively similar with a few kind of important differences. The 80T, kind of the lowest tier of the three, has things like a 60 Hz refresh rate, A5 Gen 7 processor, 4K upscaling, HDR10, dynamic tone mapping, and game optimizer. However, missing a few features like Dolby Vision, AI picture mode, VRR, and FreeSync. The picture will be bright and vibrant, but if watching movies or shows in Dolby or playing high-end games are a priority, you might want to consider the next two sets instead. So the QNED 85T, LG's other LED QNED, offers some nice improvements over the 80T. So you'll have 120 Hz refresh rate with the newer A8 AI processor. That'll enable things like better upscaling, AI picture modes, dynamic tone mapping pro, VRR, FreeSync, but still no Dolby Vision on this model. While I think the 80T is still a really good TV for a few $100 more, 85T will offer enough upgraded features that I think most people will probably appreciate. But either way, you're getting really capable sets that'll look great for almost anyone that you use them for. That brings us to the QNED 90 TV, LG's mini LED TV. So this also uses LEDs as backlight, but instead of dozens or hundreds of LEDs, it uses thousands of LEDs in that backlight. This is gonna allow for things you'd expect, like higher brightness and contrast, which also creates way deeper black levels and generally more vibrant colors. Aside from that, 90T offers some nice upgrades from the other QNED models. The 90T will offer noticeable things like Dolby Vision, probably one of my favorite features of TVs, 120 Hz of refresh rate, VRR, FreeSync, and 100% color volume. This will offer dramatically better picture with far better viewing angles. This is perfect if you want to put your TV in a room with a ton of light. And also you want sort of all of LG's latest, most advanced features and technology. This is probably going to be the set for you. There is a bit of a price jump from the QNED LED TVs to the QNED mini LED TVs, but despite that, I really think the 90T is probably going to be the best bang for your buck for most people. So anybody who's looking at a TV and is willing to spend a little bit of money, the 90T is probably going to be what my recommendation would be. I'm looking at all the TVs we've been testing around the office to sort of make this video. We've got a stack of remotes, so I wanted to organize them a little bit. So I 3D printed my own remote organizer here, and I did it thanks to this video sponsor, Bambu Labs. And this is one of those instances where like, this is sponsored, but this is, everything I'm saying is my own words. These are the coolest products that I have tested in years. I want to get into 3D printing, but it always seems like really daunting. What Bambu Labs has done has made it very accessible to folks who just want to set up a 3D printer and start printing. You can do all the complicated stuff if you want. I am in love with this new hobby. They are delivering absolutely incredible printers at really good price points that compare super favorably to high-end machines. At the studio here, we have the A1. The starting price is about $560 on sale for $489. The one I have at my house is the P1S. It's $849 on sale. They're not like cheap necessarily, but when you compare it to what 3D printers cost, they are a screaming deal. You can do multicolor printing. It is really good value for the money. They were simple to set up and easy to use. Again, I don't have any 3D printing knowledge whatsoever. And now we're printing mounting systems for the studio. We're printing just a bunch of stuff. It took me about 35 minutes to set up the P1S. And again, with no knowledge whatsoever, I was able to get set up and have things starting to print. And the more I printed, the more I've gotten into it. And the more my kids have gotten insanely into this hobby. My middle son, Zach, all he wanted was a Thor hammer with the Rams logo. And because Bambu Labs with their AMS or AMS Lite does multicolor, I made him this. And he is running around the house thinking that he is Thor. My daughter, all she wanted was a multicolored unicorn, but it was really easy to do and easy to set up. I even printed things like a phone case. I printed a giant articulating dragon. This morning before I came in to film to the studio, I printed a Millennium Falcon suspended in a mold from the printer. This is becoming like a personality for me. Bambu Labs has just done such an awesome job. When you put in one of their spools, it's got NFC built in, so the printer will know what color spool you've put in. They make it easy to pick colors. It's also got smart monitoring functions. It's got a camera built in so you can go right from the app, see what's going on. Also, it's paired with a one-click printing feature from MakerWorld. It's made it easy for inexperienced users like me to print perfect projects with ease without the need to learn kind of really complex way of printing. These things are equipped with an active flow control and vibration compensation algorithms. It provides print quality on par with high-end models while maintaining really similar printing speed. Everything about these is good. I love what Bambu Labs is doing. Like I said, this is becoming like a personality trait now. I'm like the 3D printing guy. If you also want to be the 3D printing person, I can 100% recommend these and tell you will not be disappointed. If you want to check out any of the Bambu Labs printer, the links you need will be down below. So now we're gonna get into some of the coolest tech, and this is sort of one of the TVs that I bought myself, LG's OLED TVs. And for reference, I bought an LG G2 a few years ago. And there are a lot of sort of OLED models that LG makes. They're kind of broken down into 4 different series. There's the entry-level B series, the mid-range C series, the premium G series, and LG's new high-end flagship kind of wireless, the M series. But regardless of which one you get, you're still getting an OLED TV with sort of signature perfect blacks, perfect contrast, and incredibly vibrant images. The biggest difference you'll see between each of these series are the brightness levels and processing power. All right, so let me go through each one individually. So let's start with the lowest tier OLED, the LG B4. It uses the A8 AI processor, has 120 Hz refresh rate, all awesome. Image gets plenty bright, but is the dimmest of LG's OLED series. The size ranges go from 48 to 77 inches, and despite being the lowest tier OLED option, it still shares most of the tech inside of LG's other OLED sets. You've got things like Dolby Vision, HDR10, all the gaming features LG provides, as well as 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, which are really important for things like high refresh rate. So the LG B series has always been kind of the perfect entry step into OLEDs, and they tend to be priced close to the same as LG's mini LED TVs. So we're gonna step a little bit up the OLED ladder and look at the C series. And in this case, it's LG C4. This is basically the same as the B4 with a few differences. So first, the C4 has a newer A9 Gen 7 processor inside, which can give you things like 144 Hz refresh rate as opposed to 120, and a brighter image than you had on the B4. Now, it's not like a huge amount brighter than the B4, but it's definitely going to be noticeable. Especially if you're like a PC gamer and want to use your C4 OLED as a monitor, the extra brightness, 144 Hz refresh rate will definitely come in handy, as LG offers some sizes as small as 42 inches, but goes all the way up to a wall-filling 83 inches. But even the C4's extra brightness is nothing compared to LG's G series of TVs. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I bought an LG TV with my own money. I love my LG G2. It's proudly up in my house, my primary TV. I didn't think OLED TVs could get much better until I saw the G3, and then this year until I saw the G4. The G4 gets insanely bright. It's partially thanks to the MLA technology that allows this TV to reach up to 3,000 nits of peak brightness. You're also getting LG's latest A11 processor. It has 120 Hz refresh rate. Additionally, the G4 also has full NVIDIA G-Sync certification for the first time. If you're looking for the best OLED for gaming, you've probably found it. LG also made some really nice tweaks to the picture profiles for the G4 with the improved tuning, making the picture quality look even better pretty much across the board over its predecessor, the LG G3, which already looked awesome. If you want the best picture quality LG has to offer right now, also going to be one of the more expensive sets, the LG G4 is going to be the way to go. There's still one more OLED TV you got to talk about. It's a brand new category for LG. It's LG's M series. This is LG's newest flagship TV, and its biggest appeal is its wireless HDMI features. This means the only cable behind the TV is the power cable. Everything else is attached to what LG calls a Zero Connect box. This has all the ports you're used to being on the back of your TV and wirelessly transmits HDMI signal from the box to the TV. We have a gigantic 97-inch set, but also comes in 83 and 77 inches. So as for picture quality and features, you're basically looking at a set pretty similar to the LG G4, just with wireless HDMI. You get a jaw-dropping image out of these insanely huge sets, the added benefit of a really clean setup. We tested the Zero Connect box a ton. I was worried about, like, if you walk in front of it, is it gonna drop the signal? It worked really well as long as there's a line of sight. You can put it under the TV, to the side of the TV. Any of that stuff will work, but it's not gonna get interrupted if like people are walking in front of it. Only issue you might have if you wanna put it in a cabinet and then close the doors completely. So the moral here for OLED TVs, you're gonna get the best black levels, you're gonna get the best contrast, and now you're getting incredible brightness. For people that want a premium set, OLED is 100% going to be the way to go. And now you just have different tiers of OLED depending on sort of what your budget or interest is going to be. All right, so that was LG's entire lineup. And things here are subject to change, new models get introduced. But generally speaking, if you're looking to get a new TV and you want to consider LG, you now have a sense of what their lineup entails. If this is helpful, let us know in the comments. We do this for other TV makers, but I at least wanted to make one video I can refer people to and inevitably ask me what TV they should get.